Okay, so I've completed this build. This is the one I was calling Future AK because it's kind of a futuristic style AK. Initially, I had just started deciding I was just going to put this front end, and then I looked at it and I thought, well, that looks out of place. That looks weird to have this really, you know, angular and boxy front end, futuristic style front, and then the regular back end. So I thought, well, I'm going to print the same piece and flip it upside down and then cut it out. So it worked out. Actually, initially it was going to be just flipped over facing this way, but my printer messed up and didn't print the top of this correctly. Now, part of the top was going to get cut out anyway for like the magazine and the handle and the trigger and everything. So I just flipped it over and salvaged it and made it work. And I still think it turned out really cool. So definitely really futuristic looking. This is just a little tripod mount for holding the gun. That's not part of the gun or anything I would use with the blaster, just a way to display it. So you can see here, these are actually pieces of aluminum because it had those cutouts there. And since you wouldn't see anything cool through there, I thought, let me put in some pieces of aluminum. And I did that initially before I decided to go with the chrome. I probably, it would really be cool, I guess, if it was a little different color and it popped a little differently. But I still like it. Kind of doing the one monochromatic look like this looks pretty sweet, I think. So you can see what I've done here is I've gotten, let's see if I can pop this off with one hand. I'm not sure. Well, it looks like I can't. It's on there tight. But you can see how I did the rails all over with an auxiliary plug right here for the battery, and then printed a little battery box for that 11.2 volt. And then instead of putting a door on it, because most of the doors don't stay on, like this is what the door would look like, and they just don't stay on, just had this little riser so that you can just slide that to hold the battery in, and that'll do fine. Because I wanted to print a battery box that was very simplistic, very straight line, to kind of go with this futuristic look. So that was one that I was able to modify like that, which I can't do with the fancier boxes. At least I don't know how to yet. So then just added the rails there, but you can see, and then this front grip, very futuristic looking front grip. I believe that's actually, I printed that on 3D printer, but I believe it's actually a Nerf grip from some Nerf gun. So we pull that off there. You can just see, really cool looking, I think. Put the rail on top of the battery box so you can kind of use that as a rail riser, and have a scope of some sort mounted, put a laser at the front because, futuristic gun needs to have some lasers. The way I dealt with this back end here, because there would have been a hole here and there was actually a printing mistake here, is just again put a piece of aluminum and then just kind of screwed it in. Kind of goes with that futuristic vibe anyway. It still shoots good. I haven't tested the FPS, but I'm always worried with some of these custom mods when you start elongating barrels and everything, making sure they still shoot well, and this one did. And of course, I tested it a bunch throughout the process too. So here it is. It's an Anstoy AK47, heavily modified into my futuristic style AK47, all customed out, running an 11.1 volt battery. So let me know what you guys think about it. Of course, I'll add a demo video with FPS testing on the end of this too.